Am I the a-hole for making my dad live with the consequences of choosing his stepson over me? My parents divorced when I 19 was 2. They shared custody of me, and while my dad was never a perfect parent, he was a pretty decent one. Our relationship was pretty strong. Then when I was 9, he remarried, and our relationship changed. He has a stepson, Tommy, who's 3 years younger than me, and most of his time went on him after he remarried. It wasn't that my dad never spoke to me or looked at me again. But he broke every promise he made after he remarried. He prioritized the time he spent with Tommy, and he never wanted to include me. Oh no, that wasn't possible. He said he didn't want to take away Tommy's chance to have a dad when he never had one before. And for that to work, he needed to make the time to be his dad. The day my mom died, rather than be with me, he went ahead with his plans to take Tommy to play a father-slash-son game of football. I was 13, and having my dad out having fun with his stepkid while my heart was breaking fucking wrecked me. He went with Tommy knowing my mom had died too. And my dad's wife accused me of being spoiled because I wanted to ruin Tommy's fun with my dad and wouldn't share him. There were times he had a work thing that meant he had less time in a week. A perfect example of that happening was the time I was winning an award, and I asked Dad if he could take me out for cake and ice cream afterward, just the two of us, and he said yeah, of course. 2 days later, he had a plan to take Tommy to this all-day karate thing. My award thing was Thursday, and the karate was on a Saturday, and my dad was told on Tuesday he needed to work more hours that week, and he told me on Wednesday that he only had time that week to spend with one of us, and he was keeping his plans with Tommy. I'd already lost my mom, so I had to scramble and ask my grandparents if they could make it at the last minute. I detached emotionally from Dad before I even turned 16, and I just stopped believing him or expecting a relationship with him. After a few months, I decided I would fade from his life once I was 18, and I started to plan my escape. I clashed with my dad's wife a lot in the last year because she wanted more time with Dad and her, and I refused to babysit Tommy for her. He was 14, so not like a small little kid, but she babysat him a bunch, and the fights between us got pretty nasty. I don't know when my dad started to want more time with me, or why. From what I know, he still spends a shit ton of time with Tommy, but he reached out to me and asked to meet up, and I told him no. I didn't bullshit him or make any fake promises only to cancel on him. My dad wanted to know if I'd have time soon, and I said no. But he didn't give up, and he invited me a handful more times. Then he wanted to know why I didn't come home for Christmas, and he asked for us to have a family dinner soon. Again, I said no. He's planning a vacation with his wife and Tommy, and he invited along. He said he'd pay and everything. I told him no yet again, and this time he made it a point to show up when I was visiting some of his family, and he brought his wife and Tommy along. When they showed up, I went to leave, but Dad stopped me and begged me to stay, and he said he wanted to spend time with me. Tommy said he wanted to hang out with me too, and he told his mom he wanted to go somewhere with me. I told them I was leaving, and Dad asked me why I wouldn't spend time with him anymore. His wife told me I couldn't possibly walk away from my father and brother. I ignored her and told my dad it was the consequences of always choosing Tommy. I told him I wasn't here to play games, and I wasn't ever going to forget what an awful father he turned into. Then I said he wasn't my family anymore, and I left. He had it out with the relatives I was visiting, and now his wife is furious at me. She said I'm being spiteful, and these aren't consequences of Dad's actions. They're a child having a tantrum and wanting to punish people. She said it was most unfair to Tommy, who feels like he lost a brother. I told her Tommy never had a brother, and to leave me alone. Then I blocked her. My dad's been trying to talk to me like crazy too, but I muted him and ignore them now. Am I the a-hole?